Hey Internet, it's Tori and this is just my opinion. I was on Reddit this morning and I found an article that is so absolutely ridiculous that I had to share it here. I originally was going to put this article, a snippet of it, on Troll or Moron, but this is just so outrageously ridiculous that I felt like it needed an entire video all on its own. This is an article about an article. Actually, I will link both the Daily Telegraph article, which is the one that I'm using for this video, and the original, the ABC article that it's based on, in the description so that you can learn more about it on your own. But here we go. The ABC has questioned whether parents should read to their children before bedtime, claiming it could give your kids an unfair advantage over less fortunate children. What? Is having a loving family an unfair advantage? Asks a story on the ABC's website. Should parents snuggling up for one last story before lights out be even a little concerned about the advantage they might be conferring? No, they should absolutely not. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we can add bedtime story privilege to all the other various privileges that, the Tumblrinas have decided that we have. There's white privilege and male privilege, and now there's bedtime story privilege that you can feel bad about. Whatever. The story follows a broadcast by the ABC's Radio National that also tackled the apparently decisive issue of bedtime reading. Evidence shows that the difference between those who get bedtime stories and those who don't, the difference in their life chances, is bigger than the difference between those who get elite private schooling and those that don't, British academic Adam Swift told ABC presenter Joe Gelonese. There's a giant difference between private school and reading freaking bedtime stories to your kids. Both of them are advantages that parents can convey to their children. The difference being, not everyone has access to private school due to where they live, finances, there's lots of factors there. But even with there being lots of factors there, I don't think you should expect parents to not take advantage of putting their kids in private school because not everybody can do that. That's ridiculous. Then you compare that to reading bedtime stories. Every single parent has access to this. And let me explain what I mean. I understand that a lot of parents work several jobs, maybe can't be there at bedtime for their children. Well, bedtime stories can be a misleading term. Any women that are watching this that have been pregnant, morning sickness is a misleading term. Your sickness does not go, oh, hey, look, it's noon, maybe I ought to quit making her throw up. No, it goes on all the time. It's just called morning sickness. You can read bedtime stories in the morning, at lunch, over the phone. You can Skype them. You can have the caregiver for your child make sure that it's a priority that they get a story read to them if you're not there at bedtime. There are ways to make this happen. If you really think that this is an important thing for your child to be read to, you're going to make sure that it happens. Everyone has access. Even if maybe you're in a situation that you're illiterate and you have children. You can find videos online that are read along and then have the words along the bottom. There are ways to get around it. If you really think that it's a priority, you're going to make it happen. The answer is not, well, I can't do that, so no one should be allowed to. That's just stupid. Gelanese responded online, "The devilish twist of evidence surely leads to a further conclusion that perhaps, in the interest of leveling the playing field, bedtime stories should be restricted." Restricted? Are you kidding me? We're going to have bedtime story Big Brother now? Oh, I'm sorry, but little Timmy next door only got one story this week, so you can only pick one day that you can read a story. How do I put this delicately? Fuck you. I'm going to read stories to my kid whenever I want to. I think it's a priority. I have read bedtime stories to both of my girls. My husband has. My parents have read to them. Friends of our family have read to them. Because I feel that it is important. And I am not going to hold my child back. Because not every parent thinks that that's important and realizes what an advantage it gives to your child. I'm not going to deprive my child of an advantage because other parents don't make it a priority. That's so stupid and backwards. I cannot even express to you. Asked if it might, this is a really important point to me, asked if it might be just as easy to level the playing field by encouraging other parents to read bedtime stories, Gelanese said, "We didn't discuss that." Well, of course not. Because it's all about blame in today's society. There's no responsibility for what you did wrong. It is, oh, well, it's not fair that this person had some kind of privilege. It's not my fault that my kid did worse in school. It's that parent's fault that they gave their child bedtime story privilege. Oh my God, are you kidding me right now? Really? Encourage parents to give every advantage to their child in life. Don't try to discourage good parents from being good parents because it's not fair and somebody's little baby feelings might get hurt. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Swift said parents should be mindful of the advantage provided by bedtime reading. I don't think parents reading their children bedtime stories should constantly have their minds on the way they're unfairly disadvantaging other people's children. But I think they should have the thought occasionally. No, they should not have the thought. The thought they should have, if any, is it's really a shame that all parents don't make this a priority. When I am helping my children become wonderful children and raising them to be wonderful adults, I do not feel I should be obligated to think, wow, I'm disadvantaging other kids because I'm a good parent. Screw that. I'm going to be a good parent. It's a shame that other people are bad parents, but that is not my responsibility. It is their responsibility as parents to give their children every advantage. I think there should be social programs to help children who are disadvantaged, because there are children who are disadvantaged, but it is not my responsibility to hold my children back and limit their potential because other parents don't find it as important as I do to give my children advantages. That's dumb. Let's find a way to give those children the advantages in school settings and social settings that their parents don't find important. That's the way you level the playing field. You raise everyone up, not hold people back. You do not pick the lowest common denominator. You pick the highest level that you can get the most people to. People are going to get left behind. And that is a sad, sad shame that hurts my heart. But you cannot hold people back because not everyone can come with them. That is ridiculous. That hamstrings children. That hamstrings society as a whole. And the fact that there are intellectual, academic people saying we shouldn't give children advantage because not everybody gets it, is ridiculous and borderline dangerous and psychotic, in my opinion. And so there at the end of the Telegraph article, we have Frank Oberklade of the Murdoch Children's Research Institute, well, with the voice of reason. He was bewildered by the idea. It's one of the most bizarre things I've heard, he said. We should be bringing all kids up to the next level. That is the key. Bring all kids up to the next level. Do not hold children back, because not everyone is up to their speed. Give attention to the kids that aren't up to speed. Don't try to hold back kids that are getting advantages and are smart and are doing well. They should be rewarded. They should be rewarded and not punished because they are motivated and have motivated parents who are willing to give them advantages. So I just found that absolutely ridiculous. I thought it deserved more than a minute or two on Troll or Moron. Rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take a look at the article, both the Daily Telegraph article and the original, the ABC article. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you as a parent are worried about giving your child bedtime story privilege by wanting to be a good parent and reading to them. And until next time, I'll see you later, Internet.